Alright, hi everybody. Welcome to my Monday edition of Sitting Down with Tiffany. This is episode 2. I believe episode 1 that I recorded on Saturday will be up soon. I just didn't have the time. I had a lot of time during the weekend I didn't have a lot of time during the weekend to I didn't have a lot of time on the weekend to be able to upload it on Saturday like I wanted to. So it'll be up. I wanted to upload it yesterday, but it took a long time for it to convert and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of work to make these specific videos. So, but just bear with me on it, and we'll get on with it. So, first of all, before I do Today in History, I just want to do a little update for you guys. This will be like a breaking news segment. So what I have going on is it's gonna be this Saturday there won't be a Sit Down with Tiffany episode because I'm gonna be out of town, and then next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I won't be available to do this either, because I'm going to be gone to Spokane next weekend, the weekend after this weekend. So just bear with me, guys. There's going to be hopefully sometime this week as well. I'll be starting a new Sims 3 series. Hopefully we can get the Sims 3 going. I'd like to get the Sims 3 going, and before the Sims 4 comes out, and to get at least a little mini series going. So yeah, so that's what I've got going on for right now. So now let's move on to Today in History. Okay, so today is Monday, June 23rd. It's the 74th day of 2014. There are 191 days left in the year. Today's highlight in history: on June 23rd, 1314, during the First War of Scottish Independence, the two-day Battle of Bannockburn, resulting in victory for the forces of Robert the Bruce over the army of King Edward II, began near Stirling. On this date in 1757, forces of the East India Company, led by Robert Clive, won the Battle of Plassey, which effectively marked the beginning of British colonial rule in India. On this date in 1812, Britain, unaware that America had declared war against it 5 days earlier, rescinded its policy on neutral shipping, and a major issue of contention between the two countries. In 1904, President Theodore Roosevelt was nominated for a second term of office at the Republican National Convention in Chicago. In 1931, aviators Wiley Post and Harold Gatty took off from New York on a round-the-world flight that lasted 8 days and 15 hours. In 1938, the Civil Aeronautics Authority was established. In 1947, the Senate joined the House in overriding President Henry Truman's veto of the Taft-Hartley Act, designed to limit the power of organized labor. In 1956, General Abdel Nasser was elected president of Egypt. In 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson and Soviet President Alexei Kosygin held the first of two meetings at Galesburg State College in New Jersey. In 1969, Warren E. Burger was sworn as Chief Justice of the United States by the man he was succeeding, Earl Warren. In 1972, President Richard Nixon and White House Chief of Staff H.R. Helden discussed a plan to use the CIA to obstruct the FBI's Watergate investigation. Revelation of the tape recording of his conversation sparked Nixon's resignation. President Nixon signed Title V that barred discrimination on the basis of sex for any education group or activity receiving federal financial assistance. In 1989, the Supreme Court refused to shut down the dial-a-porn industry, ruling Congress had gone too far in processing a law banning all sexually orientated phone message services. In 1994, the movie Forrest Gump, starring Tom Hanks as a simple yet kind-hearted soul and his spontaneous brushes with greatness, was released by Paramount Pictures. 10 years ago, in a major retreat, the United States abandoned an attempt to win a new exemption for American troops from international prosecution for war crimes. Excuse me again. An effort that had faced strong opposition because of the Iraqi prisoner abuse scandal. 5 years ago, today, hardening the U.S. reaction of Iran's distributed elections and bloody aftermath, President Barack Obama condemned the violence against the protesters and lent his strongest support yet to their accusations. The headline, "Victory was a fraud." Tonight Show's sidekick Ed McMahon died in Los Angeles at 86. Dr. Jerry Nielsen Fitzgerald, who diagnosed and treated her own breast cancer before a dramatic rescue from a South Pole station, died in Southwick, Massachusetts at 57. Steve Yzerman, Brett Hull, Luke Robitaille, and Brian Leach were elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. 1 year ago today, Edward Snowden, the National Security Agency contractor between the disclosures of the U.S. government's sweeping surveillance programs, left Hong Kong for Moscow with the stated intention of seeking asylum in Ecuador. However, Snowden ended up remaining in Moscow. Aerialist Nick Wallinda, I probably butchered that name, but sorry if I did, completed a tightrope walk that took him a quarter mile over the Little Colorado River Gorge in northeastern Arizona. Sci-fi and fantasy writer Richard Matheson died in Los Angeles at age 87. So today's famous birthdays are singer Diane Trassick. She is 74. Musical conductor James Levine is 71. Rhythm and blues singer Rosetta Hightower from New Orleans is 70. Actor Ted Shackelford is 68. Actor Brian Brown is 67. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is 66. Actor Jim Metzler is 63. American Idol ex-judge Randy Jackson is 58. Actress Frances McDormand is 57. Rock musician Steve Shelley of Sonic Youth is 52. Actor Paul LaGracia is 52. Actor-director Joss Whedon is 50. Rhythm and blues singer Chiquito DeBarge is 44. Actress Selma Blair is 42. Rock singer Katie Tunstall is 39. Rhythm and blues singer Virgo Williams from Ghost Town's DJs is 39. Singer-songwriter Jason Mraz is 37. Awesome singer, by the way. It's awesome. Awesome. Actress Melissa Rock is 34. Rock singer Duffy is 30. And country singer Katie Arminger is 23. Never heard of her before. Thought for the day is to have felt too much is to end in feeling nothing. And this is by Dorothy Thompson. She's an American journalist. She was born in 1894 and died in 1961. So, that ends today in history, and we'll transition on to Dear Abby. All right, we're here with a Dear Abby column. This Dear Abby column was published 13 hours ago, and the topic of the column is "Love's a Woman's Life can be only a part-time passion," and I believe that's true in some ways or another. Okay, so the letter says, "Dear Abby, I fell in love with a boy when I was 12. Deeply in love. We met at our county fair. We grew up together and have remained friends for 30 years. He married and had children, as that did I. I am now divorced, but he's still married. Recently, our friendship has grown into something more. He wants our relationship to continue, but he's afraid to leave his wife because of the kids. They have been together for 20 years. What do I do? He's the love of my life. Any time I have with him is better than none. It's not that I don't know I deserve better, but he's unhappy. I am miserable without him. What do I do? Prisoner of passion in Virginia." Well, my point is, if you had, a childhood friend that you thought you fell in love with if you've known him for 30 years, but you guys basically just remained in the friend zone, so to speak. I think that you guys should stay as friendly friends as possible. But if they can't do that, which it looks like they can't, but he doesn't want to divorce his wife because he's got kids with his wife, so he doesn't want to upset his wife, but it's one of those predicaments that you just can't get away from. So, let's read the response here. Dear prisoner, what you do depends upon your strength of character and what you want out of life. If you want to spend the foreseeable future as this man's side dish, then continue as you have been, a prisoner of passion, with not much common sense. If you would like to have a stable life and find a man who will make you number one in his life, then you will have to call a halt to this affair and go through a period of withdrawal. The same as people have to do with any addiction. It may not be pleasant, but I'd recommend it. And I totally agree. Because he's got kids, he doesn't want to leave his wife. So I would just say, just stay away from each other as possible. But it's your life. It depends on what you want. So have at it. Because I've had situations like that before. Like I think it was either my best friend or my sister. My best friend, she wanted to get back together with her first boyfriend, and she's had ever since. But she's got a new boyfriend now, so she doesn't care much about it now. But she's told me if her first ex-boyfriend has ever asked her out again, she'd definitely take it. And I'm going, what? They had a virtual agreement, so it didn't matter. But he's a great guy anyway. But it's one of those things that you can't really pertain to that. So it's one of those things that you just can't do. So yeah. But do what you think is right. So, dear Abby. Dear Abby, I'm turning 75 soon and enjoying retirement, good health, and a comfortable lifestyle, which is why I have arranged a celebration of life so far. I'm excited about it and eagerly anticipating more than 60 guests, 4 cocktails, and a sit-down dinner at a nearby hotel. It's not uncommon these days for a celebration of life to be held after someone dies. However, I prefer to have mine before I leave this earth so I can celebrate along with my loved ones. I want to be there, especially since I'm the one who's paying for it. What do you think of my idea? Would you enjoy partaking in such a special event? Thinking ahead in New Jersey. Well, I think that'd be awesome. I wish my grandmother would do that because it'd be something. You would think it'd be something my grandma Rita would do because her birthday. She'll be turning tomorrow because her birthday's tomorrow. She'll be turning 74, 73, 74, around there. And she's got severe COPD. So sometime, because I figured sometime we need to do something nice for Grandma, like, have a celebration of life so far, like what she's saying. But I remember doing something like that. We did, like, a surprise party for her, but it was for 60th. And I thought, oh, we could do this. But now, now that she's older and has gotten, not exactly worse, but going down in the age and stuff, and suffering more every day, it's that point in time where you kind of gotta do something like that. So the response is, Dear Thinking Ahead, I think it's a terrific idea. And yes, I would enjoy celebrating a special event if I were invited. When is this party? I'll be standing by my mailbox. That'd be cool. That is awesome. So, Dear Abby, why is it socially acceptable to refer to a grown woman as a girl, and yet it would never be appropriate to call a man a boy? Barbara in Huntsville, Alabama. Well, this is an interesting one. I don't like being called a girl, especially when I'm 22 years old. I realize I'm more of an in-between. I'm not a girl, but I'm not really, well, for my age, you'd consider me a woman, but in my opinion, I'm not really a woman yet. But in my opinion, I'm not a woman until at least I'm 25 and married and all that. So I don't consider myself a woman because I haven't been married. So I don't consider myself a woman yet. So if I ever get married, but hopefully I will. But I think that's just a weird question there. But let's see the response here. Dear Barbara, I'm not sure whether all women would accept being called a girl. In fact, some would find it condescending and offensive. If you call a man a boy, he could regard as an assault on his masculinity. And yet, I have heard those terms used in the third person, as in, what's my husband doing on Saturday? He'll be out playing golf with the boys, while I'll be going to lunch with the girls. And I have never heard that it was offensive to either sex. Well, I haven't either, but if it's a woman, which I still call my best girlfriends girls, so I call my best friends girls, but I prefer to boys, the opposite gender as guys, not boys. So, but you could call them, in my opinion, call whatever you want to call them, I guess. So, and now, should I go? I don't think I'm going to go on to tech news, but I just want to let you guys know there will be more tech news coming up. It'll probably be either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing that. But, because I wanted to give out more information about the Amazon Fire Phone, but that will come up at a later date. So I'm sorry, my throat hurts, and I haven't had anything to drink today. So, I like to appreciate you guys for watching, and so very much. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and see you guys next. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.